Okay, I'm live. Let's see how long it takes to the other one. To do this awesome Woobles set, like I said in my description, my sister pawned it off on me. So I figured I'd try it out in the stream. So I looked at some of the videos on it because I wanted to see if it gave me like a list, because she gave it to me open. So I'm assuming all the pieces are in there, but we don't really know for certain. Ugh, why is it showing it's not? You know, it's not a good sign, kids. Not a good sign. Technology on the back end. Will I lose connection at some point? I don't know. But I figured, I don't know how long this is going to take. I imagine I'm not going to be able to get this done in one stream. And if it's a complete catastrophe, I will just be privating it and then walking away and never showing the rest of it. But you never know. I might be able to finish this in 4 to 6 years. So, this is Woobles. If ever you've seen the videos for them, whatever, this is all the stuff. I've already pulled this lead out. It was actually inside. But for one of the videos, they were showing it. That was one of these things. What are they called? I don't know. So how this will work out is that I'll have to watch the videos to instruct it. Because the closest thing I've come to crocheting is that a long, long time ago when I was in junior high, you had to take home ec. And one of the home ec things was to, look, it's the eyes. Make like an outfit and like a teddy bear and whatnot. But that's sewing, not crocheting. That's not entirely, it's not even close to the same thing. So I was really bad at it. I did pass, if that's any consolation, but I was really bad at it. So we'll see. I got my awesome computer over here because I need to watch the instructions. I also don't know, I gotta play the instructions with sound. So hopefully they won't ding me for like copyright for the sound. Nobody watches it, don't ding me. You know, if you do happen to across this and want to watch my hilarious fail, because I seriously don't think I'm going to be great at it, then by all means, let's do this thing. So I'm going to skip the hold a hook and yarn thing. We're just going to wing it. And we're going to go to the single cross stitch instructions. Let's see. Because I stopped watching the instructions because I had to take this out of the thing. Because I need to pull this out farther so I can hold it. And now I got to see, how do I get the sound to come back on again? Oh no. Oh. I think I figured that out.
Exactly the same hole as this orange stitch marker. If you were to look at the rim of your piece, you would see that the orange stitch marker is under two.
Yeah. First we need to get it in position. God knows. I need to go to the other video to show me how to hold it again. This is how good we are at it. No, that's the overview. Where's the hold a hook and stitch?
I'm going to be demoing most of these videos.
That's great. Good times. Skip it.
So take your left palm, face it to you, hold the piece in front of your palm, and watch the yarn that's connected to the yarn ball. You're going to wrap that once around your pinky. So now the piece is behind your fingers, and then bring the yarn over your index finger, and then hold onto the piece with your thumb and your middle finger. And you want to try to keep the yarn draped on your index finger towards the back third of your finger.
Like this.
Your knuckle. That way, when you're crocheting, the yarn won't easily slip off of your finger.
Okay. So now we're going to go to single cross stitch. We can do this. Put the thing in the hole. Nope, this is backwards. Because this has to be here. But I still don't want this in my way. Because I need this to be like here. Because I got to put my, obviously, I know a little bit about this. Put this in here. I just don't know why. I'm really killing it now. You know? Okay.
We're going to learn how to make what's called a single crochet stitch.
We got our
This
thing.
is the basic stitch in crochet, and it's what makes
Our
your
first
crochet
stitch. How much?
So you've got your hook in this little loop, and the first thing you need to do is figure out what hole
I feel like they need the fast version of instruction and the small version. That way, if you can figure it out.
You want to put your hook in exactly the same hole as this
Exactly
stitch marker.
this one.
If you were to look at
There we go.
of your piece, you would see that the orange stitch marker is under two strands of yarn that kind of look like a horizontal V. So you want to put your hook in the hole
Like that.
directly below.
Come on, instructions. Go faster.
That is marked by this orange stitch marker.
You're supposed to be doing this and hitting the next button? Really? Yeah, I got that part. Yeah, that's great. Moving on. Yeah. That's super exciting. Fast forward.
Now it should look like there's 3 strands of
I can't fast forward because I gotta hold the thing with my hands. This is ridiculous. Who came up with this craptastic plan? Okay, like this. Crap. Yeah, I gotta hit next every time. Like, how are you supposed to hold this and do it at the same time?
We're gonna bring the hook down
Under.
The working yarn and then put it behind the working yarn.
Okay.
The goal is to grab the yarn.
Okay.
Your hook.
Uh-oh.
So you'll need to make sure
I can't.
that your hook is still facing you.
How do you expect me to keep this tightened and fast forward on the for Pete's sake?
Resist the urge to use your yarn hand to pull the yarn onto the hook.
Okay, that's great. But I gotta hit next all the time.
You're gonna pull the hook through the hole that the hook just went into. So just those first 2 loops on the hook.
Okay.
And it's really common when you're first learning how to crochet.
I got it. Keep going.
So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do this. So first you want to pull the piece in the hook in opposite directions to artificially make the hole that the hook needs to go through a little bigger. Then you want to rotate the tip of your hook from facing you to facing where the yarn meets the rest of the piece. So that should be about 90 degrees down.
Okay.
Then, when you pull the hook through, you want to try to pull your hook parallel to your body. Do not wiggle it around. This is what
I'm halfway. If you could finish the... Oh, for fuck's sakes.
So,
how do you expect me to hold it? Am I supposed to pull it through both of them or just one?
Rotate your hook to face you again so that the new loop that you just brought through stays on your hook, and then push your hook off to the left so that this new loop is also safely towards the base of your hook.
Okay.
Lastly, pull your hook a little bit away from the piece so that this new loop looks like it's basically the same size as the old loop.
Okay. Great googly moogly.
You should have 2 loops on your hook now, which means that you're halfway through the stitch that's called the single crochet stitch. Let's pause and make sure that these loops are a good size so that it'll be easy for you to finish this stitch. So
I ain't kill somebody before this is over.
So that you're looking at the hook head on. And if you left the tip of the hook facing you, you actually want to rotate the tip of the hook down to face the piece again.
Okay.
What I want to show you is that we want to make this loop that's on the hook, this new loop, be basically the same size as the tip of the hook. That way we know it'll be easy for the hook to go in and out of that loop.
Okay.
So if that loop is too tight, too small, all you gotta do is pull the hook away from you.
I got that part.
I
may kill somebody before the end comes.
The yarn connected to the yarn ball.
Me fighting it.
Smaller. Alright, so we've checked that these loops are a good size, but they're basically the same size as the tip of the hook. We've got 2 loops on our hook, and we are halfway through the single crochet stitch.
Right.
To finish it, we're going to do another yarn over.
Okay.
So you have your hook in front of your working yarn, the tip of the hook facing you.
This is hard on the fingers.
Bring your hook down under that yarn and then behind it so that you can grab onto the working yarn with the tip of your hook.
Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah. Like, hey, hit the next button. Did you realize you have to use 2 hands for this, right?
Make the loops on your hook a little bit bigger.
Oh, I'm on help myself.
Your hook to make it through these loops. Then rotate your hook from facing you to facing where the yarn meets the rest of the piece.
I can't get that.
And then pull this yarn through both loops on the hook. So move your hook parallel to your body. Don't wiggle
Okay.
around. The moment you clear those 2 loops, rotate the hook to face you again. Push the hook off to the left so that this new loop is safely towards the base of your hook. And then pull the hook a little bit away from you so that the loop on the hook becomes a little bit bigger.
Okay.
If you've only got 1 loop left on the hook, then congrats, you have finished the single crochet stitch, and you can move on to the next video. If you don't think you did that correctly though, you can do 2 things. 1, you can reset back to the pre-started piece that came in your kit and go back in the videos to follow along.
You know what the problem with this is? I've already forgotten the beginning of this thing. Like, I know how to get to the thing. So this is where I'm sitting, and then I loop it through, and then it goes through.
Or you can tap on the help icon.
Like, you make 2. How did I make 2? Oh, God. We're doomed.
Now we're going to make what's called an increase stitch. To turn the single crochet stitch into an increase stitch, we're just going to do exactly what we did and do it in exactly the same hole. So we're going to make a second single crochet stitch in the same hole. Before we do that, let's just double check we're set up to be able to easily move our hook through the loop that's on it by tilting our piece so we can take a look at the loop relative to the size of the tip of the hook. Remember, we want this loop to be basically the same diameter as the tip of the hook. And if it isn't, either move your hook away from you or pull on the yarn connector to the yarn ball to make it a good size.
This is hard on the fingers. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Okay, kids. If ever you get a Wooble, you're going to need a person whose sole job it is to hit the next button or scream at it and have it do next.
In exactly the same hole as the previous single crochet.
In the orange one?
That hole is the hole that is marked by the orange stitch marker.
Okay. So it goes through here.
Pull that orange stitch marker off to the left so it's out of your way, and then stick the hook in the same hole immediately to the right of the orange stitch marker.
Okay.
And it should look like you've got 3 strands of yarn on your hook.
Okay.
The hole is under 2 strands of yarn that look like a horizontal V. You want to make sure the tip of your hook is facing you, and the hook is in front of the working yarn.
It's supposed to be up here. God knows. Look, it's the next button.
Now yarn over. That means bring your hook down under
like,
and
using
behind the working yarn.
Sure, and then swing it towards you.
The hook facing you so that you can grab onto the yarn with the tip of your hook.
No, for Pete's sakes.
Now you're going to bring this yarn back through the hole that the hook just went into. So pull the piece and the hook in opposite directions to make that hook temporarily a little bit. Rotate the hook from facing you to facing the piece.
You got it through.
And then pull the hook parallel to your body. And the moment you clear those 2 loops, rotate the hook to face you again. Push it off to the left. And then pull the hook a little bit away from you so that the new loop is about the same size as the old loop.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. Are you seriously?
Let's just check real quick that
oh, for Pete's sake, look at it this way. Yes, I got that part.
And taking a look at how the loop compares to the tip of the hook. You want the loop to be basically the same size as the tip of the hook. That's how you're going to make sure that all the V's that you make are roughly the same size.
Next.
The hook should be in front of the working yarn, and we're going to do a yarn over again. So bring the hook down under and then behind the working yarn with the tip of the hook facing you.
Part of the problem with this, oh fuck's sakes, is that they're broken down into smaller sections, because I understand, but you can't hold the yarn for that long.
Temporarily a little bigger, and then rotate the hook from facing you to facing the piece. Now pull the yarn through both loops on the hook. and move your hook parallel to your body. The moment you clear those 2 loops, rotate the hook to face you again. Push the hook off to the left so this new loop is safely towards the base of your hook, and then pull the hook a little bit away from you so that this new loop becomes a little bit bigger.
Okay. Oh, for fuck's sakes. The amount of swearing in this one.
1 loop left on your hook, then
okay.
Congrats, you have finished the increased stitch.
Okay.
Move on to the next video.
Great times have I all.
Feel like you did. Before we continue, we're going to pause for a bit to make sure that we wind up with a wooble instead of a doily. So we're actually going to take our hook out of the piece, and before we do that, we're going to pull the hook away from the piece so that the loop on the hook becomes really big. That way you have some leeway in case you're clumsy like me and accidentally pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball. You don't want to accidentally lose any of your work. And now you can take your hook out of your piece and you can let go of the yarn.
Obviously the center comes pre-made. I have no idea how to make that. I'm just saying.
So you're going to want to get in the habit of always using a stitch marker to mark the first stitch of whatever round you're on. When you're crocheting in these spirals, you can't actually easily tell where one circle ends and one circle begins. That's part of what makes this look really good, but you, as the crocheter, could really easily get lost. That's
what are the 2 green ones for?
To tell us
no, never mind.
Every circle or round begins. That way, if we ever make a mistake,
I'm sorry, I'm moving my knee around.
Back to the stitch that's marked by the stitch marker.
That's great. I'm so glad I had that tip. I was paying attention, I promise.
So we need to move the orange stitch
marker
to mark the first V of round 2.
Okay.
Right now, it is in the first V of round 1. So how do we find the first V of round 2? First, let us flip the circles that we're looking at the room. So you can think of it as turning the page of a book. And you've got the loop that was for your hook at the very top. That loop traces back into a V. That V is the second stitch that you made. The first V that you made is the V below that. It should be right above this horizontal line, which is actually a knot we made in your pre-started piece. So that in case you mess up and you want to start over,
there's our knot.
you can just pull on the yarn.
That's our first V. This is the second one. Oh, this is the first one. That's the second one. You know what?
That's right above that horizontal line is the one that you want to move the orange stitch marker under. Take a good look. Unclip the stitch marker like a safety pin, and then put that stitch marker under that second V, this one. So you want the stitch marker to go under only the 2 strands that represent this V. And it doesn't matter which way you put the stitch marker in, as long as it is under that V.
47 minutes ago. Like, can we hook the safety pin? Yeah, it's under the second one. Yeah, that's right. Well, I feel like that's not tight enough. But yeah, hers are much tighter than mine. Well, you know, I don't know what you expect on that one.
Before we get back into crocheting position, let's get oriented. We want the big loop for your hook to be in the upper right-hand corner. And since we moved the orange stitch marker, now the orange stitch marker should be to the right and under this loop for your hook. The green stitch markers, though, are still off to the left.
Okay. That's a lot of, hey, this is where stuff goes. That's great.
In the loop. There is a right way and a wrong way to put it in. The way you tell is that when you pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball, the yarn that moves should be the yarn that's closer to you, the one on top of the hook. That way, your yarn won't be twisted. You want to pull it until the hook is almost right next to the piece. Remember, you want the loop on your hook to be about the same size as the tip of your hook, not this part, which is narrower.
No, for Pete's sakes. Next. Hold the yarn. I know, right? Easier said than done.
Which is, you want to start wrapping the yarn as close as possible to your piece, so up here instead of down here. Because that way, if you pick up the yarn really close to the piece, then it's much easier to adjust the tension between your finger and your piece. I'm going to show you real quick how to get the yarn back on your hand. Take your left palm, face it to you. Hold the piece in front of your palm so that you can wrap the yarn that's connected
That sounds
to the
exciting.
yarn ball once around your pinky, starting from being in front of your palm and now winding up behind all of your fingers. Now you want to drape that yarn over your index finger and hold on to the piece with your thumb and your middle finger. Then if you have the yarn tail, the cutoff piece of yarn, just make sure it's somewhere behind your piece so it's out of the way.
Okay.
We're moving on. Let's just make sure that your piece is in the right direction.
Thanks, buddy.
You want your hook to be in the
Really?
upper right-hand corner.
Seriously? For the love of...
stitch marker is now below it, and on the right side.
I don't have the patience for this. I mean, I understand I'm still going to fail miserably, but it's a lot of talking, kiddo. Second increased stitch. Great. Oh, there's 12 steps? 12? Oh, fuck.
We're going to make a second increased stitch together, and this time we're going to focus on learning how to figure out where to put the hook next. So taking a look at the yarn that's on your hook, that yarn traces back into 2 loops, 1 and 2. The first loop actually goes into a hole, this hole. That's the hole that you just finished making a stitch in. So you want to put your hook in the hole to the left of that, but not just any hole. You want to put it in the hole that is directly under the next horizontal V.
Oh.
So you probably have to tilt your piece a little bit to be able to see the rim and to be able to see that horizontal V.
So it's the green one.
Hopefully the hole that you thought you need to put your hook into matches up with the hole that this green stitch marker is in.
Okay. So it's the next one down from where we were just in. It goes into this one like this. Good times. Why are there 12 steps to this?
Start the second increased stitch around.
Now then, can I wrap it around and take it back out again, or do I need to sit here and watch you do it?
And then pull the green stitch marker all the way off to the left so it's out of
I already did it.
And you can see the hole.
Move along. I don't know. I have the patience.
From the front to the back.
Thank you.
So that looks
We've
like
already did that step.
Yarn on your hook, and your hook is in front of the working yarn with the tip of the hook facing you. Next, yarn over. Remember, this means bringing the hook below and behind the yarn with the tip of the hook facing you.
Up.
Then you're going to bring this yarn through just the first 2 strands of yarn on the hook. To do that, pull the piece and the hook away from each other while you rotate the tip of the hook to face the piece, and then pull the hook parallel to you. The moment you clear it, rotate the hook to face you again, and then push the hook off to the left, and then pull
I got that.
away from
I have a difficulty holding it. But in my defense, having to hit next every, 30 seconds doesn't help me either. I'm just saying.
You now have 2 loops on your hook.
Yes.
And that means that you're halfway done with the first single crochet stitch that makes up half of the increased stitch. So let's just take a look and make sure that the loop is roughly the same size as the tip of the hook to make sure we're going to be making nice and even stitches moving forward.
No, for Pete's sakes. This is the instructions driving me nuts. I mean, they're helpful, but they're too... And then, does it go to both of them? Okay.
So pull the piece and the hook in opposite directions to temporarily make the loops on the hook a little bit bigger. Rotate the hook down.
Got it.
It's facing the piece.
Next.
Pull the hook parallel to your body, and the moment you clear those 2 loops, rotate the hook to face you again. Push it off to the left and pull the hook a little away from you so that this loop on your hook becomes a little bit bigger. If you only have 1 loop left on your hook, then congrats, you have finished the first single crochet stitch. So you're halfway done with the increased stitch.
Great, good time. I still wish they would have just showing the full move at once instead of having it on multiple steps. Because the whole thing is in like 3 different steps. You got to just sit there and hold it while they're doing it. And by the time I get to the end, I don't remember how I did the beginning.
2 loops of yarn, 1 and 2. That first loop traces back into a hole. And since we left the green stitch marker in there, that hole hole should match up with the hole that the green stitch marker is in. That is the hole that you want to put your hook into. So pull the stitch marker off to the side, off to the left, so that it's out of the way when you crochet. And then put your hook into the same hole from the front to the back of the piece. So it looks like you've got 3 strands of yarn on the hook. And then make sure that your hook is in front of the working yarn and the tip of the hook is facing you. Yarn over by bringing the hook below and behind the working yarn, and then bring that yarn through just the first 2 loops on the hook. So pull the piece and the hook away from each other as you rotate the hook down to face the piece. Pull this yarn parallel to your body and through just those first 2 loops. The moment you clear it, rotate the hook to face you again. Push the hook off to the left and pull the hook a little bit away from you.
Oh, for God's sakes. Next.
You should now have
2 hoops. Yeah, we got the part.
Halfway point of a single crochet stitch. And let's just double check that this new loop is roughly the same size as the tip of the hook.
When do we go to the next one?
Yarn over by bringing the hook below and behind the working yarn. And then pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. So pull the piece and the hook away from each other as you rotate the tip of the hook to face the piece. Pull that yarn parallel to your body. The moment it clears those 2 loops, or rotate the hook to face you again, push it off to the left and pull the hook a little bit away from you.
Okay.
If you've got 1 loop left on your hook, then congratulations. You are done with your second increase stitch. Before we move on, let's just double check that we have the correct number of V's. We just finished our second increase stitch, and remember, because an increase stitch actually looks like 2 V's, we should have a total of 4 V's at this point. So turn your piece to look at the rim.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Stitch marker, the orange one at the very bottom, and your hook at the very top. And we're going to count the number of V's starting from the one marked by the orange stitch marker.
It looks like it's normal.
First V.
Although, in her instructions, she has blue. Her blue looks better than the white. That's kind of disappointing.
Remember, you don't count the loop that's on your hook as a stitch.
Okay.
Great, I've got 4 V's so far.
That's exciting.
Which means I'm good to go, and I can remove this first green stitch marker and put it aside because I don't need it anymore.
I assume that means we're going to the next one then. Next.
So to finish round 2, we need to repeat what we've been doing in every remaining hole. We need to put an increase stitch in every remaining hole, and there are 4 holes left. So by the time you're done with this round, you should have 12 V's along the rim, starting from the one marked by the orange stitch marker and ending with the stitch that's going to be coming out of the V right before you get back to the orange stitch marker. Some of you might have gotten the hang of it already, and in which case you can just blast right through this, but it is pretty common to accidentally put the hook in the wrong hole since you're just learning how to crochet.
I'm going to go this.
And wind up with the wrong number of stitches at the end. So I'd recommend just following along for a little bit longer to make sure that you're putting your hook in the right place.
Yes.
Because we're starting a new stitch, we need to put our hook in the hole to the left of the one that we've just made these stitches in. So to find that, we're going to look at the yarn that is looped around the hook, see how it traces back through these 2 loops of yarn. The first loop of yarn is going back into a hole, this hole. So we want to put our hook into the hole immediately to the left of that, and not just
I went through this one, so I need to put this one.
Directly under the next horizontal V. So we still have this one green stitch marker left to give you a hint of where that should be, and hopefully your guess matched up with the green stitch marker. So I'm going to move through the steps of the stitch a little bit faster now.
Thank the gods.
You're getting more used to crocheting. Pull the
Yeah, we got that part.
so that it's
We put it through. That's okay.
Put your hook in
Me yelling at instructions.
that this green stitch marker is in.
Patience is a virtue I do not possess.
It should look like you have 3 strands of yarn on your hook.
It's not tight enough. It's driving me nuts.
Facing you and in front of the working yarn.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. You're like, I'm going to do it faster. Yet we're still stuck here.
Bringing the hook down
Under.
and under the working yarn.
And that goes through these two.
Grabbing
Oh,
onto the yarn.
lost it. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Then you're going to bring that yarn through just the first 2 loops on the hook. And the moment you clear those loops, push the hook off to the left to secure your new loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook, so you're halfway through a single crochet stitch. Now yarn over again by bringing the hook under.
Does it go for both of them?
Behind the working yarn. And then pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. The moment you clear both loops on the hook, rotate your hook to face you again and push it off to the left to secure your new loop on the hook. And you should have 1 loop on your hook by this point, and that loop should be about the same size as the tip of your hook. And you have finished the first single crochet stitch that makes up half of the increase stitch.
Next. Put the hook in the same hole. Same hole. And then put it through, and then go through here. And then go through here. God knows, like this. There. And then this one will go in the next one.
Is going back into a certain hole, and that hole should match up actually with the hole that is marked by the green stitch marker. That is where you want to put your hook. So put your hook into your piece from the front to the back of the piece, with the tip of your hook facing you, and your hook in front of your working yarn. You're going to yarn over by bringing the hook below the working yarn and then behind it. And then you're going to pull that yarn through just the hole that the hook just went into. The moment you clear that hole, rotate the hook to face you again and push it off to the left so that your new second loop.
I've already done the second loop. Can we move faster now?
And make sure that that loop is
I don't care.
the same size as the tip of your hook.
It's just me watching the instructions and yelling, you know,
You're halfway through the second crochet stitch, so you're almost there. Now we're going to yarn over again, so make sure you've got 2 loops on your hook and your hook is in front of the working yarn.
And then we just go to the next one and do the same thing over and over again?
Below the working yarn and behind it. And then pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. The moment you clear it, move the hook off to the left and make the tip face you so that you have nicely secured your new single loop on your hook. And then quickly check to make sure that this loop is basically the same size as the tip of the hook. If you got to this point and you only have 1 loop left on your hook, then congratulations, you are done with your 3rd increase stitch. Before we move on and take out the green stitch marker, let's just double check we have the correct number of these so far.
6.
You should have 6. So turn your piece so that you're looking at the rim.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, fuck it. That's marked by the orange stitch marker.
1,
So this is stitch number
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3.
Yes.
Since this is going to be your first time doing an increase stitch without the help of a stitch marker.
Well, I used my stick marker.
I'm going to start this one.
I'm just saying.
We're still going to use the same method we've been practicing before, which is taking a look at the yarn that's on your hook and seeing how it goes.
And then this one goes through here, and then this.
That first loop of yarn.
And then we do it again.
That's the hole you just finished making a stitch in.
This.
So that means you want to put your hook in the hole and
this. Oh, for Pete's sakes.
Not just any hole.
I'm supposed to have it wrapped around my finger, am I?
The next
like this.
will be to the left of it. So you're going to put your hook under this horizontal B.
Did I do 2 of them or just 1?
since you've done the increased stitch quite a few times now, I'm gonna go through the whole stitch in this one video.
I don't know if I did it already or we're just, oh, fuck it, we're gonna do it again. No, I don't think so.
Through just the hole that the hook just went into. So you have 2 loops
We'll
on
do
your
it. Let's try it without it.
And remember to make sure that the new loop is about the same size as the tip of the hook. Then yarn over again and pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. So you're left with 1 loop on the hook.
This way.
You're halfway done with
This way.
an increase stitch. You have made a single crochet stitch so far. Now to finish the increase stitch, you're going to put another single crochet stitch in exactly the same hole. So to see where you need to put your hook again, we're going to look at the yarn that's on the hook. That yarn goes through 2 loops. The first loop traces back into a hole. This hole. That is the hole that you just crocheted a stitch into. So that's the hole you want to put your hook into again, from the front to the back. Then yarn over and pull that yarn through the hole that you just put your hook into.
Oh wait, am I not supposed to do that? Oh, I feel like I went too far. Like this? Uh-oh, we've already confused ourselves. Let's play this out. I just pulled this one through like this, so then I went over it I did it 1 too far, and then this has to go through here, and this goes through the thing.
You should have 8 V's around the rim, starting from the one marked by the orange stitch marker and ending with the one that the
okay, this goes here, like this. Oh, Pete's sakes, we lost it. Nailed it. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this one. Okay. I feel like it's my hands that are going to be the most annoying with this. Like my hands just don't want to hold it like that. Because this one is too wide up like that. There we go. I don't know if that's right though. That looks wrong. That looks messed up. I don't like it. I have this. There. I don't know if that's better, but I still feel like that's good. No, it looks. How many of these damn loops do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I needed 12 then? So I only did 1 that hole? Oh God, who knows? You know what? Don't question the madness of others. Just keep on going. Flip this like this. Although that's too loose. Can we tighten that? Here, I'm going to pop this out because I find this one's too loose. The second one's too, this one is too fucking, it's too big. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Okay, kids, this is what I always knew the problem was going to be. It's me being able to hold it in my hands and do it. Like, I know where it's supposed to go. Like, I feel like someone's going to be able to watch this and, like, this is where you messed up. Like, you don't say. Okay, that's that one. So that's the end of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And since you've done the increased stitch quite a few times now, I'm going to go through the whole stitch in this one video. Yarn over and pull that yarn through the hole that you just put your hook into. So you've got 2 loops on the hook that are vaguely the same size as the tip of your
Instruction
hook.
video is going to drive me crazy.
Yarn over again and pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. So you're left with 1 loop on the hook that is the same size as the tip of your hook. And then you are done.
It's not
your 4th
perfection, but it is bigger than it was before.
You should have 8 V's around
I have 12.
Starting from the 1. I'm going to let you do the last 2 increased stitches by yourself since we've done some increased stitches together. You can can always go back in the videos if you need a refresher on how to do the stitch or know where to put your hook. What I wanted to show you is what it should look like when you're done. You know you've hit the end of the round when there are no more horizontal V's for you to crochet into. So you do not want to crochet into the stitch mark by the stitch marker because that stitch is always the first stitch of whatever round you're on. That means the last stitch of the round needs to end before you get right back to that orange stitch marker.
Yeah, I did that. That's what I've been waiting for you. Waiting for you to tell me how to make the next row.
The habit of counting that you have the correct number of V's around the width. In the next video, I'm going to teach you how you know how many V's you're supposed to have, but for now, just trust me when I say you're supposed to have 12.
I counted 12.
So let's count the number of V's.
I already did that.
From the one.
Thanks for the wonderful thing. Like, I don't know if you could actually hear the video telling me what to do, or if you just hear me bitching about it, but
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, you don't count the loop for the hook as a stitch. Great. I have 12 stitches in round 2, which means I'm good to go. If you don't have 12 stitches or 12 V's, check out the help icon. Here's a diagram to help explain what we just did and how you can visualize the pattern. Every number in this diagram represents a V. The white circle in the middle represents the starter piece you had, which was actually round 1, and that was a magic loop with 6 single crochet
Yay.
stitches. That's what this piece is. Then this gray circle on the outside represents round 2, which is what we just made. And it has 12 V's in it. As you can see from the diagram, every round is a complete circle of stitches. The last stitch
42 minutes to do one round.
Because within a round, the stitches never overlap. So let's recap what we just did for round 2. We started by putting the
Shouldn't there be 24?
Stitch number 1 of round 1.
So there's 24. Just
Just
double it. Times 2.
That maps back to the
I have 12 this time. It means it's 24 next time, yes?
I told you to make one single crochet stitch in that hole, which is this stitch. Then it is into the same hole is called an increase stitch, abbreviated INC.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. I know fast forwarding
So
through the...
the instruction was to make 6 increase stitches. And if you look at the diagram, you can see that every 2 stitches maps back into...
So we need 12 increased stitches in the next... Oh, for Pete's sakes. I'm going to need you to move faster. Thank you. That's exciting. Blah, 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 blah. Here's my problem I have. I'm not good at remembering terminology. They're like, this is an increase stitch. I'm like, $10 because I don't remember an increase stitch during this read. Oh, for fuck's sake.
In this diagram, the white inner circle here with numbers.
Why are there 18? What the hell? Oh, man, come on.
Which is this piece.
Every other one is 1?
That circle even bigger by following the pattern for round 3. Round 3 is represented by this outer gray circle.
Okay. Here's the problem I have. I will get super distracted. I'm not going to remember which one's which.
With a single crochet stitch, abbreviated SC, and that's going to go into the very first hole in round 2. So this is the single crochet stitch of round 3, and it's going to go into the first stitch of round 2, which is the one that is marked
by the orange sticker. Understood. Got that part.
Next up in the pattern,
Still talking about the brackets. I know this is riveting stuff. I'm also thrilled, but I feel like I might need to know this.
The next hole of round 2, and we are going to do an increase stitch.
Yeah, I can tell it's either or. Thank you.
2 single crochet stitches in the same hole.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Got it.
Then we go back to the beginning of the bracket.
I'm definitely going to forget that.
Repeat that sequence. So we're going to do a single crochet stitch at the end of it, which is what this this number in the parentheses on the
That was exciting. I'm so glad I watched that. Wait, when? Okay. It bumped me back to the beginning of the instructions. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to tell me what to do. Okay.
We're gonna take our circle
and turn it into a bigger circle.
A bigger circle.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Alternating the single crochet stitch with an increased stitch. Because we're also alternating stitches, sometimes it can be hard to remember what stitches you've already made. So I recommend grabbing some paper and a pen, and I'll show you how to keep count and keep track of your stitches. So let's get back to the loop for your hook, which should be in the upper right hand corner of your piece, where the orange stitch marker is immediately to the left. Now pull on the yarn connected to the ball, and the yarn that should move should be the yarn that's on top of the hook, the one that's closer to you. Pick up the yarn with your yarn hand and wrap it around your hand as close as possible to the piece to make the tension between your hand and the piece nice.
You realize I lose tension every time I hit the next button, right?
Single crochet stitch created a C. And it's going to go into the stitch marked by the stitch marker. When we first were learning how to crochet, I told you to leave the stitch marker in there, but actually I would recommend taking the stitch marker out first before you put your hook in there so that you don't accidentally stretch the yarn out too much. So just take a really good look at what horizontal V that this orange stitch marker is currently under. Then take the stitch marker out. You can hold on to it or drop it, and then put your hook under that same V from the bottom up. So it should look like you've got 3 strands of yarn on your hook. Now yarn over and bring that yarn through the V.
So then I do the next ones too.
Yarn over again.
Let's see if we can't finally do this with any speed.
And pause.
You know I can't hold it, hit the next button. Yes, I got that. I know I finished my first one. Thank you. Yeah.
You want to immediately put the stitch marker under the V that you just made. Let's pull the hook away from the piece so that the loop is quite big. Turn the piece to look at the rim. And look for the V that this loop traces back into. That is the one that you want to put stitch marker back under. Great. Also, because this pattern is getting a little bit trickier, I want you to pause and also write down the number 1. You have made the first V in round 3. Now get back into crocheting position.
I can't. You keep making me hit next.
Next up, the pattern says to do an increased stitch.
Yeah.
So to figure out where to put your hook next, take a look at the yarn that is wrapped around your hook. That yarn goes through 2 loops, and that first loop that it goes through traces back into a hole, this hole. So we want to put our hook in the hole immediately to the left of it, but you might accidentally think that it is this hole because that's what you can easily see. But you don't want to put it in just any hole to the left of it. You want to put your hook under the hole directly underneath the next horizontal V to the left of the stitch you just made. So you want to put it actually under.
I don't know if it's under the thing or not. Let go. Get it. Tip to the hole. There we go. Next. And then that's that one.
Now we're going to do the increased stitch, which is 2 single crochet stitches in the same hole. So yarn over.
And then we do one and this one.
The V, so you have 2 loops left on your hook. Yarn over again. Bring it to both loops on the hook.
Oh, they got the thing. There we go. I was a little bit tight. Why are we stuck? What did we get stuck on? Oh, we need to pop this out. I don't know where I messed up on that. How did that little baby? Is he too tight? Is this our problem? There we go. Where did we go wrong? Okay. This one. Okay, like this. I'm gonna need to. Can I just? And then this one goes. Just. Oh, for Pete's sakes! Is this a 2-fer or a 1-fer? Don't even talk about it. Okay. That's too. It's a 1.
So you just finished the first single crochet stitch. That makes up half of your increase stitch. And before you move on to the rest of the increase stitch, take a moment to pick up your pen and write down number 2. You've just made the second bead.
That's 1. See, he's too tight. Like, he's too close together. Like, I don't know if we're... One, 2, and then 1, 1, and then this one will be 2. Oh, this is ridiculous. Who came up with this craptastic plan? I mean, this is going well. I can't, I'm not paying attention to whether or not my stitches on the screen. This is a 2-fer, right? Because we just did 1. So 1, and then 2. Treat doodly movie. Get through the second one. There we go. 2. I cannot get this to be tight enough on my hands. That's 2. So now we're down to the next one, which is 1. I mean, I guess I could be too tight. Is this 1? There's 1. So then the next one, we're going to have to do 2 again. 1. Pete's sakes. 1. 2. And then a 1 again. 1. This is the right one, right? Yes. 1. There's the 1. And now we're going to the next one, which is a 2. See, I'm nailed it on that, holding it in the right place. Oh no, we're stuck again. What do we get stuck on? Down. There we go. Am I supposed to be doing a 2 on this one again? I feel like this is a 2. Was that number 2 or is that here? I'm going to undo this one real quick. See if it's. I think it's supposed to be a 2. So we need to 1. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Look, kids, this is not my area of expertise. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Completely lost on that one. It's too loose. I can't get it to be tight all the time. Like, I guess I loosen it when I get the extra piece, and then I don't have it. It's driving me nuts is what it is. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I done something wrong with that one. There's 2, whether you needed 2 or not. And then this one's a 1 then. 1. Oh, Pete's sakes. Let's not talk about it. Grab it and then bring it back. There's 1. And then the last one is a 2. So, well, before you hook it, you might want to go through the second hole. No? No? Nothing? Like me. 1. Oh, for Pete's sakes. You're losing everything at this point. Look, kids. I didn't say it was going to be pretty. I thought it was going to be a hot mess, what we're doing on this one. 1. Come here. 1. Some dog is thrilled. I'm just saying. 2. Okay. There we go. I'm caught up.
So now we need to make the second, so you should be left with 1 loop on your hook. Put your piece down and write the number 3. So why did I ask you to write down the V that you just completed every time you finish the V? That's because you are probably going to lose track of what stitch you're on at some point during this round, since it's a lot to keep track of.
18.
So you lose track,
Nail it.
always just look back at these
It may not be
numbers.
pretty, but she be done.
So we made it through. When you make a stitch in this round, I want you to pause, and when you're done with round 3, it should look something like this. You should have crocheted your last stitch in the hole right before you got back to the stitch marker, because remember, you only ever put the first stitch.
Although mine feels like it's bigger around the outside.
And you also want to have a total of 18 V's all the way around.
Yeah, I did that.
So let's count that. Starting from the one marked by the stitch marker.
I did that.
1 V, 13, 14, 15. But does not count as a stitch. So for round 4, we need to do
So we're doing the same thing again?
6 times, which is how we're going to end up with 24 V's in the parentheses. Another way this pattern could have been written is like this. So we would do a single crochet stitch in the first hole, a single crochet stitch in the second hole, and then an increase stitch in the next.
Yeah, it's 1, 1, 2.
This is considered one sequence of 2 SC, INC. Then we're going to do this sequence a total of 6 times. So that means in the next hole, we're going to do a single crochet stitch, followed by a single crochet stitch in the next hole, and then followed by
I just need a reminder of where I'm supposed to put the orange clippy. That's what I need from you. I need that from you.
The really important thing to understand about this round is that 2 SC is not the same as an increase stitch. 2 SC means you should do 1 single crochet stitch in one hole and then 1 single crochet in another hole. An increase stitch means that you should do. So to make sure you know exactly what this means, let's do the first few stitches of round 4 together. So let's do the first 2 single crochets of round 4. You're going to put the first single crochet in the hole that is marked by the stitch marker. And that is because the stitch marker is showing us the first stitch of the previous round. And remember that the first stitch of any round is the only stitch that should ever go into the first stitch of a previous round. So take a good look at what V that stitch marker is under. Unclip the stitch marker, put your hook under that V, make a single crochet stitch, pause, and you want to put your stitch marker under the V you just made. So now you know for sure this is the first stitch of round 4. And you're also going to want to tally that up so that you can keep track.
So you put it in underneath the one you just made. Okay. This one. I just need to see where she put that.
So to make sure you put the stitch marker, Put your hook under that V, make a single crochet stitch, pause, and you want to put your stitch marker under the V you just made. So now you know for sure this is the first stitch of round 4. And you're also going to want to
Okay.
up.
Let's do this dance.
Keep track.
What possibly go wrong? Well, you know, kids, if I could keep it straight, I mean, it's getting bigger. It's now bigger than it was before. So it's 1 stitch into this one, 1 stitch here. Oh, Pete's sakes, don't lose the thing. 1 stitch there, and then the next one, see, I can't hold it in my hand. Anybody have any tips for me on how to hold a thing in my hand? Let me know. One, two, and then 2 onesies. For Pete's sakes. 1, and then the next one is this one. I assume it's this. Is it this or this? This is a hot mess. Well, no, I assume it's there. You're like, are you even putting it in the right spot? Well, kids, you know, this is my second onesie. And then the next spot, we do 2. I missed it. 1, 2, and then onesies. 1. Oh, what was that one? 1, and then there's another 1. And then this one's a twofer. It just keeps coming off my hand. I'm just, I cannot for the life of me. Oh, geez. Okay. 1. And then another 1. 2. And then 2 onesies. 1. I think it might be too tight. I'm just saying. Whatever. 2. And then 2 of these. 1. 2. And then 2 onesies. For Pete's sakes. Lost it again. Will we be able to fix it? No. Let's pull it through. Let's start over. 1. I don't know if I was supposed to have 1 or 2. And well, this is a onesie. I just don't remember if the other one's supposed to be a onesie too. I'm going to do another onesie. I don't care. It's close enough, kids. I mean, I'm so dedicated and on top of things. 2. And then this one's a twofer then. 1. And then 2. And then 2 onesies. 1, 2, get this again, 2, 1, Jesus, you can do it, little buddy. 2. Oh, I feel like this is off a little bit. Am I supposed to have 2 at the end? Well then, fuck. The kids. It's fine. It's fine. Well, we're gonna count it out and see how many I have, and then we'll finagle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, I was supposed to have 24, right?
Now we're going to do the second single crochet. Make single and it up. Now let's make the third stitch, which is an increase stitch. I'm going to remember to pause and tally that up as well. At this point, you have made 4 V's, which match up with the 4 tallies that you have, but you've only crocheted into 3 holes because the first stitch was a single crochet, the second, everything we just did for. When you get to the end of round 4, you should have an even bigger circle. And the last stitch of round 4 should end right before you get back to the first stitch of round 4. And if you count the number of V's along the rim, starting with the one marked by the stitch marker and ending with the one that the loop for your hook leads back into, you should have a total of 24 V's around the rim.
I don't know how you made it to 24 because the math is not mathing well.
Round 5, we're going to make 24 single crochet stitches all the way around the rim. So the first stitch you make is going to go in the hole that's marked by the stitch marker, because that hole always marks the first stitch of any round. So once you've made that first single crochet stitch, remember to pause and put the stitch marker under the V that you just made. So now you know for sure this is the first stitch of round 5. When you're done with round 5, your piece should look something like this. It should have started to curl, and you should have a total of 24 V's around the rim, starting with the one marked by the orange stitch marker, and ending with the one that the loop on your hook traces back into. Round 6 is a sequence of 5 single crochet stitches followed by an increase repeated 4 times. So by the time you're done with it, you should have 28 V's around the rim.
Okie dokie, let's do it. 24 single stitches. This is oodles of fun. One, 2, 3, 4. You're supposed to do the last bit before you go on to the next one, Smarty. Nailed it? Okay. We're on top of things. Don't even ask, kids. Don't ask. I don't question anything you do. If I did something wrong, feel free to not tell me. Unless I noticed. Well then, tough. This one. Finish one before you start the next one, you loon. Is this how you're supposed to hold it? No, it is not. I clearly don't have the skills to hold it, okay? We've all acknowledged our failures. My hands don't want to do it. But I've got some general idea of how this works. I'm sure there's a much more complicated stitch than the one we're doing now. But it is all about a matter of remembering what you did before. Like this one, I don't have to. I need to redo that one because I can't. I mean, I could, but let's not. Let's skip it. Remembering where you're at. This one, I don't have to remember, either or. Like the next one, I have got to alternate the stitches. That'll be oodles of fun. But, oh, for Pete's sakes, what's wrong with you? On here, no, it's too loose. I can't get I just can't. It's dropping me up the feckin' wall. It's not so much you can't get it to there because it's too tight. I just can't hold it with my hands correctly to make it. Because I imagine if you could hold it correctly, it would make it so much easier to do. But I don't have those kind of skills. Although we can safely say it is coming together. It is making sense. It's not. We'll give them that. The Woobles may be driving me up the feckin' wall with their instructions being so slow at the beginning. But they do have comprehensive instructions. It's all a matter of whether or not you can follow them, one, or if you're good at your hands, number two. I'm not saying I'm good at my hands. I'm generally not. Oh, for fuck's sake. But it's a matter of if you can do the movement with your hands and things like that. It's how much you want to fight with the string. But this one, it's a good introductory, obviously. Yeah, I'm sure it's a great racket. The amount of money they make with the Woobles, because obviously if you were to go to the craft store and buy these supplies versus doing it this way, it must be 1,000 times easier than, 1,000 times cheaper than this. I mean, obviously I didn't buy this, so no harm, no foul. But if ever, like, no, can you hold it in your hands? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Here we go. I was having trouble getting it through the thing. Last one for this round, I would assume. Don't you lose that fucking thing. I mean, let's count it out. Yep. Okay. So then, for round 6, it's 5 ones, and then 5 ones, a double, and then 5 ones and a double. Yeah, counting. Why does everything that I do require counting? Can we all just... So here's the first onesie. And then this one goes into this. I do admit, these are super handy because I don't know how well I'd be able to figure out where the last one was without the marker. That's helpful for me. Okay. So there's 1, 2. I know I'm not holding it right. Don't hold it against me. That one's 3. Let's not talk about this. Okay. As I constantly just spend all my time trying to get it around my head. 3. There we go. 4. Oh my gosh, can we not? You can do it, little buddy. There's number 4. And then number 5. And then number 6 is a twofer. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There's 6. So then there's 5 more onesies. That's P6. Where's that one go? This one goes here. 1. 2. 3. 4. 1's too big. I think I'm going to pull that one out. I think this is too big. This one's going to be 4. There we go. And then there's 5. And then 6 is 2. 6. And then 2. And then 5 more singles. 1, 2. Oh, for Pete's sakes. 2, 3. 4. 5. Oh, for Pete's sakes. I know it's not. So then 6 is a double. There's a happy dog outside. I'm being sarcastic. There's 1, 2, and then 5 singles. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's too loose. 4. I feel like that's not far enough. How do we get so far? Fuck it. We're not. We don't care. We don't care. We will just be. It's not. It's a little bit curved. 5. Yeah, we're one off, so I didn't count right somewhere, but that's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna put in an extra one and call it a day. I don't care. I mean, you know, maybe if I'd be able to wrap it around my finger. Hello, viewer. Watch as I mess this up because I'm clearly wrong. Because I'm one stitch over. Oh. Should I do this one a single and then do the last one a double and call it a day? I feel like that's the plan. We're just going to say that I messed up counting. If you notice where I messed up, feel free to never tell me. That's my... Since I can't hold it in my hands. But I did get to the end. And I'll do the double at the end. Oh, for Pete's sakes. And then that's one, and then we'll do one more in there. Like, we don't even want to know what happened. Okay, I can't hold it. I can't. Oh, geez. But there, that is. So that's your Wooble. He is kind of curved. He does have a curve to him. Theirs is much better than mine, but they're professionals, so that's not fair. Right versus wrong side?
The mechanics of crocheting stitches, I want to tell you about
why would you...
which is that the fabric you've been creating has a concept of a right or a wrong side. When the wrong side is facing out, that's like saying your t-shirt is inside out.
Well, it's too late now.
It's probably naturally started curling by this point, and the way that it naturally curls actually makes the wrong side face out. The way that you can tell is because you can see that there are these horizontal bars in your piece.
Okay.
Before I teach you how to make the right side face out, let's get pointed.
We're back to videos to tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Always crocheting to the left. So the next stitch you would make would be in this orange stitch marker. Because we're looking at the circle this way, you have been crocheting in a counterclockwise direction.
Yes, I've been counterclockwise. You're correct.
Under stitches going from the inside of the circle to the outside of the circle.
Why are you telling me this now?
To make the right side face out, just push up on the middle of the bowl until it becomes a cap. And then you'll flip this cap upside down so that it becomes a bowl again, so that it'll be easier to crochet with. And you can tell that this is the right side because you can see a bunch of V's on the outside of the piece. There are no horizontal bars. At this point, the yarn tail that came with your pre-started piece is also inside the bowl. You can think of it as putting the noodle in the bowl.
Why is the yarn inside the bowl?
And also,
what?
The stitch marker is now on the edge of the bowl closest to you.
Well, when I flipped it, mine's on the wrong side now. I'm genuinely confused, but okay.
So we did a bunch of flipping, but nothing about the mechanics of crocheting.
How did it...
You're still going to put your hook into the next stitch to the left. Because you're right-handed, you're always crocheting to the left, and you're still going to be making the next stitch in the one marked.
Thank you. I need you to tell me how to do it.
The difference now, because we did all this flipping around, is that the orange stitch marker is on the edge of the circle closest to you, and now you're going to be working in a clockwise direction.
Oh.
So now when you put your hook into your piece to start a new stitch, it's going to look like you're putting your hook from the outside of the circle to the inside of the circle. But the mechanics of doing a yarn over and pulling it through the hole and so on is exactly the same.
Thank you for that. That was a great instruction video.
I usually don't tell you when to flip a piece inside out. So try to get in the habit of always flipping your piece as soon as possible so that the right side faces out. I like to do this the moment my piece starts to naturally curve.
I really didn't understand what you were talking about, so my answer is, okay, sure. Rounds 7 through 9 is 28 singles, okay. Good times. Okay, that's what we're doing then. Although I may have extras, but we're just going to mark it and then go around in a circle because that's what we're doing. So we're doing singles. Do we remember how to do the single? We're already confused. Our marker is the orange piece, so we'll put that one in there. And then, oh, Pete's sakes. I don't know why I keep trying to hold the yarn correctly. I clearly can't do it, but that's one. So then we'll move the marker up here. I'm going to get confused at some point. We got to do 7, 8, and 9. So there's 3 rounds of this. 1. If you held it correctly and you could actually hold it, it'd probably be easier for you. But since you can't hold it, this is a huge, huge problem for you. I'm obviously talking to myself, but it's the small things that I will conquer this nonsense eventually. So I gotta do 28 singles. So loop around, get lost. I'm not counting it. I'm not going to verify. I don't know if I have one too many or if I just miscounted last time. One can't argue these things. Like it'll be fine. That's the least of my worries. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there is going to be like, "Oh yes, this is going to completely ruin your circle." You know what? It's the first time. If it's not done incorrectly on the first try, is it really the first time you've done it? No. See if we can't wrap around this thing fairly quickly. I say that like that's going to be the thing that's going to happen. Wrap, wrap, wrap around. But yeah, this is a lot of repetition. I don't know. I mean, I guess it'd be something you could do. Back in the olden days when you didn't have your phone to play craptastic games on, you could have been doing this. Being productive, making shit. I mean, I guess it all just depends on what you're making out of it, what you can do. That, and obviously there's much more complicated patterns than this, I would assume. Because I don't really know how they end stuff or how this gets back around to the beginning. Oh, for Pete's sakes, can we not? No, I cannot. The answer is no. No, I cannot. Get through the fucking... I don't know if I've ever swore as much as I've sworn during this thing. As I just hold it now. You know what? Don't question the madness of others. Should I count it when I get to the end? The answer is no, absolutely not. You clearly can't count. Just let it go. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just assume that I messed up somewhere earlier and I just don't know about it. Get through the hole. Oh. Well, that, and technically, it's entirely possible that I messed up far before this and I've just been counting it incorrectly the entire time. I have complete faith in my ability to not have done something right earlier. I'm sure it's going to get more complicated later on too. Like, look, why do I have that gigantic hole in that? Some of the holes are bigger than others. Don't think about it. Just keep on going. I mean, it'll still hold the stuffing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. They're not going to be as tight and as pretty as the instructional video. Although I still want that blue yarn. The blue yarn is prettier than the white one. I mean, don't be a persnickety fiend. It's free. Free things are the best things. Hit the just, you know, if you've made it this far in the video, please tell me what wonderful things you've made. How horrible I'm holding it with my hands. What the needle is for. That would be interesting to know. Okay, so that's the end of this one. So that's row number 7. So now we're going to do row number 8, which is also another single row. Oh, come on. It'd be nice if they told us how many rows. Did I do that right? I don't know, did I? I'm going to do this over because I'm confused. I don't know why I'm confused, but I'm still confused. That's what happens when you talk and do it at the same time. I think it's fine. I just didn't. We've now gotten to the part where you've done it so many times that it now is starting to blend together and you're just forgetting what you've already done. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Put this in the first one for the row. But you are showing that it's growing. It does look like that's a ball. I mean, it's the bottom of the ball, but it's a ball nonetheless. Counts. It works. Like, where's the string? It's the string that you're supposed to be holding in your hand, but you still can't figure out how to do it. That's where it's at. I wonder if they have a thing that can keep the tension better. I made it before I lost it, and that's right, suckers. I don't think it's helping very much that it's starting to wrap around. Like, they had us flip it around, and now I find this much harder than it was before. It's not hard per se, but it gets in the way. It just makes it more difficult to get the thing in, to get it in and move it around. I need to make sure I'm in the right spot. But, you know, if you've watched somebody do this and you're like, how in the hell are they figuring it out? It's not nearly as hard as you thought it was. I mean, yet again, I don't know what stitch they're using, so that might also be it. But, I don't know. Did we make it? That was not tight enough. That's not tight enough. Okay. We're like, this is going to be the never-ending big one if we don't tighten this shit up at some point. I do not want to be doing this for the next 14 years. There we go. There's that one. There's this one. But considering it took a long time just to get through the instruction part of it, once you get through the basic steps, they did really make it as easy as they possibly could. And as far as hobbies go, it's not the worst one ever. Get your kid into this, although they can still probably, if they weren't streaming like me, you could probably consume social media content while doing this. But I still think it might be more productive and helpful to do this and put something together than it is to, you know, play a game on your phone or whatever. But to each his own, whatever. In the hole. Nope, didn't make it. There we go. Made it. We're wrapping it around. My sister gave this to me, and she's like, you can stream it. And I'm like, we'll find out. I mean, we still haven't gotten to the, I cannot. There's a way you're supposed to hold it. It's not tight enough. It's not tight enough for me. It's driving me nuts. And it's constantly loose, and it's driving me up the wall. There has to be a better way to hold it, I'm just saying. Which they do have the option. I would assume somebody would have already looked at it from a better source than me. Like, they have there at the very beginning, you know, are you right-handed or left? So they do have instructions for both. One of those things you don't even think about. I'm sure a left-handed person thinks about it a lot more than a right person does because, you know, obviously there's more right-handed stuff than left. But I thought about it. And they do ask you at the beginning, you know, are you a beginner? So I wonder if you're not a beginner, if it would have the quicker version. Like, maybe they would say, hey, these are the stitches, you know, this is where they go type thing. And you wouldn't have to have all the beginner steps that drive me up the wall. I mean, they drove me up the wall, and I am a beginner. I can't imagine if you've already made one of these before and they're like, hey, watch this video again about how to make a stitch. You're like, oh, I've already done this. We don't need to do this again. Like, I don't need to see this. Some of these holes are much bigger than others. I don't know what we're doing on the last one. Clearly quality control was left something to be desired. I'm just saying. Who did that horrible line? This is 8, right? So I still have to do a whole nother one after this? Oh, God. Well, you know, I would assume that 7, 8, and 9 is the middle of him. So after this should be the other way, the ball the other way. I assume. But that's my area. I don't know. I would assume so. I mean, I'll look at it. 10 is 6 and 1. 11, 13 is 32. No. So it just keeps going more? Oh, God. How big is this thing? I don't know how the ears work either. Like, we got this all over the place. Don't think about it. 1. Uh-oh. Well, it's not a stream unless I knock something on the floor and then I have to pick it up. So, well done. It's not the worst thing to ever happen. Okay. So that is 8, row 8 in the bag. Kind of a hot mess, but we're taking it. And then this one is row 9. But yeah. I would assume the guiding thing is something that they always used for newbies. But it really is super helpful, I'm just saying. So now, I don't know why I keep trying to wrap it around. Like, I know it never works. I know I keep failing at it. What did you get hooked on? I don't know. Okay. Oh, gosh. How fun is this? There we go. What did you do all day? Wrap it around your finger so that it automatically just falls off immediately. And like, I don't know why we bothered. I don't know why you're doing that to yourself. Like, you're not obviously succeeding in this task. You just keep dropping it again. So I don't know why you keep trying. Get through the thing. Oh, nope, didn't make it. There's this one. I don't know how the ears on the polar bear get put on there. I don't know how any of this stuff works, but we will find out when we get there. I imagine had I looked on it and seen what the dimensions of the little polar bear were, I'd have a better idea of how much of this I still have left. I don't think I'll finish it tonight, purely because I don't, you still have the whole scarf to figure out how to do the ears. Those are weird. And then, come here, all that other stuff. So, okay. I lost the thing again because I can't hold it in my hands. I guess. If anybody has suggestions on how to hold it better, that'd be great because it's driving me up the wall. we're moving along. Oh, for Pete's sakes, lost it. Lost it. Lost 2 of them on that one. It is a weird, like you're supposed to use the hook. It's supposed to catch it and bring it back, but it's not very deep. So it's so easy to lose it. And then I have to try to figure out how to get it back. Because with that one, I even lost, see, I lost 2 of them. I didn't just lose 1, I lost 2. I got it through the first one. I just need to get it through the second. Hook it. There we go. You can do it, little girl. Oh. Really? Clearly. Let's start over. Okay. Start over. Do it again. There's this one. And then this is this one. There we go. I was wondering about that because you'll see it wherever you see somebody crocheting, them backtracking, like how hard it would be. It's not nearly actually that hard to backtrack. It's not the end of the world. It's slightly tedious because clearly I'm having trouble getting them through the second one. I got it though. Almost done with number 9. And then we'll have to go back into doubles at some point with the next one. Okay. What? You could do it out. Or at the very least need the table. That's helpful too. Let's see if we can't get to the end of this one. Or a good stopping point for the night at some point. Because I generally would be concerned that if I do this too much, my hands will be cramped tomorrow. Just because they're just not used to doing this. Okay, that's 29. So, I mean 9. So 10 is 6 singles, 1 double for 32. Okay. Because we did so well last time. 1. Not really, but okay. 1. Move this before I forget. Put it in the thing. That, and the great thing about this also, it's not very sharp, so I don't think the marker can hurt you. 2, without a great deal of effort, honestly. 2. 3. You can do it. No, I cannot. Get on the hook, you jackass. 3. 4. 5. 6. And then a double, right? Yes. So the double is 1. You can do it. I keep twisting it so much, it just comes right off. Like maybe if there was tension on it, like there was supposed to, maybe it wouldn't fall off so easy. No? No, maybe? 1, and then another 1. 2, and then 6 more singles. 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh. Come here. 6. Uh-oh. Come here. Start over. 6. And then a double. 1. 2. And then 6 singles. 1, 2. That's a 1. I don't know why I'm doing that. 2. 3. 4. 5. That's exactly how you're supposed to do that. No. 6. And then a double. 1. Oh, crap. Two. And then 6 more. 1. Where's it supposed to be? 5. That's 6. 2. 3. 4. 5. We'll find out if I'm 1 over or not. 6. Oh no, that's actually going to come out even. And then the double at the end. 1, 2. Oh, that's too loose. There we go. That's it. So that's number 10. Oh. But he's still, look at that. It's an actual ball. So now, I assume that's the base. I have to do 11 through 13 of 32. So those are all singles now. After I straighten out my hands. Because my hands be a cramping. Like they're not thrilled to be in this position for that long. It's holding the string. I can't hold the second string. There we go. This one's here. 6 is 11. I can't even. It's supposed to be like this, but I don't, it's too loose. I don't know how you keep it tight. Let's not ask these questions. Okay, let's go. At least with these, you have your marker to tell you where you need to get to, and I don't need to count. I just got to go around in a circle and do every one for each, and then call it. I say that and I'm going to get stuck at some point. It's all a matter of, if I could hold that string correctly, I probably would be doing much better than I am now, because I'm constantly redoing it on my finger because I can't get it to work. My hand doesn't do that. Well, at the very least, my left hand doesn't. Which I'm sure I'm working tomorrow typing stuff. My left hand's going to be annoyed. Will you stop going for the... There we go. But it does, at the very least, we can say it does sort of, it's starting to have the bowl shape to it. And I wonder if you stitch the extras on after you have the bowl done. I don't know. I didn't cheat. I didn't go ahead. Like, I tried to see to make sure I had all the pieces, but that's basically all I did. So it's possible I'm missing something. I just don't know it yet because it didn't have a thing that said, hey, these are what you're supposed to have. I mean, there's a thing on the back, but I would still like for the instructions to say, hey, you were supposed to have this in the bag before you start. Make sure you have all this crap. Because if you don't have that, if you didn't check the back of the bag that says it, you know, or you did and you just didn't realize you were missing something, like me, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I have everything, but I don't honestly know one way or the other. And I still can't hold it with my fucking finger. You know, that's too loose. I gotta do that one over. Yet again, kids. Yet again. Troubles. Troubles, troubles, troubles. Come here, you dastardly bean. I'm gonna fight you to the end of the time. Is that way too tight? Oh, it's because I have it in my... Oh, don't even ask. Don't say such things to yourself. Oh. Unhooked myself. Okay. There we go. Getting close to the starting point of the next one. Then, good news is, once we go the other way, it should actually be easier. Like, you'll have less stitches to do. Like, you'll have some sort of pattern, obviously, but I would hope that 32 is as big as it gets and that it whittles down after this. I mean, that's the story I'm saying, and I'm sticking to it until the end of time. Good thing for me is I learned by repetition. So, I mean, besides the trying to remember the pattern, the stitch itself is fine. I mean, obviously I keep losing it, but that's my left hand is failing me. My right hand is fine. This one. Okay. There's that one. So that's 11. And now we're going to start 12. I feel like I did that wrong, so we're going to do that again real quick. I was like, did you wrap that twice like a crazy moon? Like, what are we doing here? Why are you so stuck? There we go. There's that one. I was waiting for myself to stab myself since I said it's not sharp enough. You can't possibly stab yourself. I'm like, you know, you're just gonna stab yourself 3 seconds from now, right? Like, this is gonna come up. Like you've done this to yourself, basically. It looks like a basket at this point. Wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through. It's a riveting task, crochet. I would start to talk about something, but I don't know if I have the skills to have a conversation and talk about something at the same time. Although I do find it amusing, I stream on Sundays and Sunday nights, and every time I forget that Sunday night is the same night that Forbidden Frontier is on. So when I get done with this, I'll have an episode of Forbidden Frontier to listen to, whatever crazy conspiracy theory they're talking about. Well, they're not all conspiracy theories. It's more about the ancient civilizations, what they were like and all that. And they had one today that I watched that was about they found a cave of bones that showed bones that were a civilization from like 300,000 years ago was burying their dead in the bottom of this cave. I cannot get this through the slot. What are we doing here? Just start over. Was burying their dead in the bottom of this cave, which showed, human, a civilization that cared enough about their dead to want to bury them in there. And they also are not our ancestors. So it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Not everything that lived before doesn't still live now. Obviously, a lot of things went extinct. You have to figure, evolution-wise, humans didn't make it on the first try. Is that right? I feel like I'm confused now. Like there might have been some humanoid-like creatures that did get to a certain extent until they died for whatever reason, and they are not our ancestors. They're just another group of people, humanoid-type creatures that evolved from apes or chimpanzees or whatever. Like they came from that family. They just didn't take our route. And, the implications that we're not the only ones that evolved to, we may have been the first ones to evolve this far, but we're not the only ones that had consciousness and things like that we might not be. We're just the ones that exist right now that we know of, and that others have come and gone in the history of Earth, which is it's interesting and also depressing at the same time to think that there was something else out there that has come and gone that was like us. Like if they can get wiped out, so can we. Because obviously you have no idea why they died, as far as we know, because I think we have enough DNA at this point. I'm pretty sure they're not, they're not what humans evolved from. But they had those characteristics far before we thought that humans had it. So they came first. Obviously their civilization was basically them just burying their dead in the back of this cave, like spending the time and the effort to carry them all to a specific place to bury them. That's basically it. They do have some cave paintings that look a lot like cave paintings from Neanderthals from 150,000 years ago. But this race that we ran across, they lived 300,000 100,000 years ago. So they predate the Neanderthals by 150,000 years. That's a huge difference. Like, you don't know. It also throws into the, you know, if we were to, from their, because they did find actual skeletons, so they have something to look at, from their bone structure and how they look, if we were to look at them, if they were to show up today, we would think they were aliens. We wouldn't think they were human. We would think we were being visited by aliens, which means that they don't actually have to be extraterrestrial. They just have to be alien to us. Like, they could be, like, you know, and then you think, hey, maybe some of the stories are about these other evolutionary options. Like, they came and went, but there was a little bit of an overlap of their time with ours, to the point where, I say little, but there was some sort of overlap. There was a few outliers, a few, you know what I mean? They didn't go all extinct all at once, that maybe there was some people left over and they might have interacted with humans. I cannot get this one in there. To some extent. You know, and that means that it's not extraterrestrial life that you ran into. It's humans. They just evolved differently. Not humans, humanoid type creatures, you know, that were sentient beings that also evolved. Now, some people might have trouble with this. If they're religious in nature, they might not like the fact that, you know, how does God factor into that? That's not my problem. But it's interesting to see, but like with all things, you know, it's hard to know for certain because they're all gone. You're looking at it through a human lens. You don't know. We don't know if, you know, that was the only tribe that did it. Like, it'd be weird if that was the only tribe that did it. It's more likely it's the only tribe that we have any record, we have found anything of, because it's so hard to get, to find skeletons from back then and things like that, to be able to look at what they were like before, because obviously our bones are tiny compared to, you might be able to find dinosaurs, those are gigantic. But the smaller you are, the easier you went to dust and you left no record behind. And even, you know, when it comes to stone tools and things like that, yet again, depending on where they were at, where they lived, whatnot, it has to have the perfect conditions for you to run across them and find them. And also, never underestimate the fact that humans have run across them before and destroyed them, not knowing what they were or not wanting them to be known to the public for whatever reason that may be. Like, you just, like what I talked about in one of my previous videos. When it comes to the evolutionary chain of humanity, where we came from and how we evolved into what we are now, you'll never find all the missing links because there's an infinite number. It happened over such a long period of time. I can't get this to go through. It's driving me nuts. It happened over such a long period of time. Most of those links never got saved. Like, you don't have any way of knowing exactly what happened unless you have a time machine. So, you know, and you're lucky enough to come across a preserved site somewhere, you know. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm going slower, not faster. Get through the hole. What is your problem? There we go. There's, nope. Domestic troubles. You can do it. No, I cannot. We're all over the place. I want this one to go through this loop. Is this too much to ask? Yes. Yes, it is. It's a good sign we've gotten better, not worse. Okay. I mean worse, not better. And then this is 13. Which I wonder if I can count all the way up to 13. I know I can count. I'm just saying if I can see the rows. Okay. No, but as always, I have my hair inside the thing already. I'm proud of that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that's the first one. Yeah, that works. Oh. And then, so 13 is another singles. Great googly moogly. But as always, the only reason I watch that stuff, I mean, it isn't interesting, but it's also not current day bullshit. So if you want to escape current day bullshit and find other bullshit to be annoyed by, I mean, everybody that's about is long gone. Like, it's disappointing that you don't have that, all the knowledge about those times, because a lot of it got destroyed or is hidden for whatever reason. You know, whether it be the church or the state, whatever reason that they just get rid of stuff. Like they had one they were talking about, there was some sort of ancient ruins of some sort in France, and they tore part of it down so that they could put like a Home Depot in. And we're like, well, that's of course. I mean, the Home Depot is far more important than the past. I mean, I guess it depends on how old the site is, but it's still kind of like really a Home Depot. I don't think it was actually a Home Depot, but it was a hardware store of some sort. I don't know if Home Depot is in France. I think I would find it kind of amusing if it was, but it was kind of disappointing to hear, but not really surprising. You know, as always, you can play games with that. They're like, we put it in the city planning board. Anybody could have seen it for months and months. I'm like, did you really? Did you put it behind in a closet somewhere where nobody knows? Like, I feel like you need to also put that in. You know, if it's a historical site, you need to put it in a place that people care about that shit and see if they can't muster up enough to keep it. I mean, although a lot of these things, if they're that old, because of the way humans are, you know, conquest, destroy, whatever, it's possible that the people that made that aren't even related to the French people. Like, you just don't know. That's how humanity works. We conquer shit. I don't know what you want me to do about that, but boy, no. There we go. If I could wrap it around my hand, maybe I'd be able to do it better. No? No, maybe? Sort of? I don't know about that one. Killing it now. Well, at least when we get done with this one, we'll be able to move on and see what the next step is. So I don't have to watch them. Well, at least I got it through before I lost the thread. That's skills. Because I would assume, yet again, the lie I keep telling myself, I don't think that's down far enough. I think it's supposed to be under here. I didn't get it in the right spot. I'm sure that's the first time I've ever done that. The rest of them are 100% right. I'm not holding it correctly. I know that. I know that. We can't get through those. Besides that, have I watched anything lately that's great? I started watching an older syndicated show. I say syndicated, I think it was on CW, but it has a syndicated show feel for the generation that knows what syndicated shows are. It's that kind of show. Actually, it's not that bad. There are parts of it that are annoying to me. the female lead summoned a demon, and then she'd just let it run around the town killing people. Every once in a while, she'd be like, "We really need to get rid of that." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you talk about it like once an episode, and then you just kind of don't talk about it again. Like, I don't know what we're doing here, kiddo, but you're not really looking like you're trying to do anything to get rid of it. So I don't know why you bring it up every once in a while and act like you care, because you really haven't been showing it. I mean, she eventually gets rid of it magically, whatever, but I ruined a plot point for you. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But I was still like, hey, all those innocent people that died because you were dicking around doing other shit, saying I need to do this, this, and that. And I'm like, well, no. Number one, you need to get rid of the demon that's killing the humans. I mean, geez. I mean, some humans did terrible things to you, but not all of them. Most of them are just normal Joe Schmo living in the ass end of the world. It's okay. It's the type of show you put on in the background, if that's your kind of show, obviously. It's the show you put on the background when you're doing something else, and then, you follow the plot and whatnot, but it's not like it's earth-shattering or anything. It's standard fare. Oh, look. Are we done with this one? Boah, there's 13. Are we proud? Next. Oh, we're going to the decrease stitch.
Close off the body by making it narrow. So we're going to do that by doing what's called the decrease stitch.
Yay.
The decrease stitch takes 2 stitches and turns them into 1 stitch. So here's the pattern for round 14. DEC is the abbreviation for decrease stitch. So let's do the part that you already know, which is 2 single crochet stitches, 1 in each of the following holes. And then, when you're done with that, move on to the next video to learn how to do the decrease stitch.
It's what we always wanted, a decrease stitch. I'm going through that thing, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. 1, and then 2. That's a little bit of a hot mess, but it's fine. It's fine. Don't question the madness. It's bad enough I got 2 mice. I gotta remember which one it is.
You need to make a decrease stitch. So we're not going to do just any old decrease stitch. We're going to do what's called an invisible decrease stitch. To do an invisible decrease stitch, you want to put your hook, which currently has a loop on it, under the front loops of the next 2 stitches. So what are front loops? So this whole time I've been talking about these horizontal V's. Those V's are actually the top loops of the stitch, and the side of the V that is closer to you is called the front loop.
Oh, I never gonna remember this.
Putting your hook into the hole under the next available V, you're gonna put your hook only under the front loop of that next V. So like you've got 2 loops on your hook. Then you're gonna put your hook under the front loop of the next horizontal V as well. And now it should look like you've got 3 loops on your hook.
Oh, okay. I'm learning how to do this thing.
Just like with the single crochet stitch.
Why is it suddenly louder? What is wrong with it?
Whatever. You're going to yarn over and then pull that yarn through just the first 2 loops on your hook. So just through those front loops that you just put the hook into. Then you should be left with 2 loops on your hook.
Yeah, I got that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yet again.
You're halfway through the
You guys have to let go of something to push the next button, right?
Still in front of the working yarn. You're going to yarn over again and bring that yarn through both loops on the hook so that you're left with 1 loop on your hook. And with that, you are done with an invisible decrease stitch.
I just realized this little.
Now that you know how to do a decrease stitch, the last thing you need to understand is how to figure out where to put your hook after doing an invisible decrease stitch. So since we crocheted into the front loops of some stitches, if you tilt your piece to look at the rim and look at those horizontal V's, if you see any V where that front loop looks like it's being grabbed by some piece of yarn, like this one, then it means it's been used for the decrease stitch. And therefore, you need to put your hook under the next horizontal V that is completely intact, that does not have a piece of yarn pulling on the front loop.
Okay.
So this is where you would continue on with the
One.
pattern and do a single crochet stitch.
2.
When you finish this round, your piece should look something like this. It should be starting to get a little bit smaller towards the top.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. One, 2. Did 2? I don't know if I did 2 of those or not. Yeah, I did. I'm so confused. Okay. It's hard for me, okay? But don't worry, kids. 1, 2, and that's this. Then a decrease stitch as I need the table again. You know what? It's a skill, okay? I know you're jealous. 1. It'd be interesting to see if I make this to the end and be like, yeah, we made it and it's right. I doubt it. 2. And then decrease. The dog is still happy, just in case you were curious. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Great googly moogly, get in the hole. And then, probably because my thing is too tight, I'm going to keep it real. 1, 2, oh, here we go. So this is 1, 2. No, that's not right. Have I got? Oh, I feel like I didn't do that one right either. The problem I'm having is because I'm with some of them, You go underneath both sides, and then for the decrease, you only go underneath one. I keep going wanting to go underneath one for the single, which is not correct. Obviously, this is not right. We're just going to do it. I think I messed up somewhere. I think I put one extra one in there. That's fine. It's fine. No, I don't need this one. I need this and this together into this. It was right. Okay. And then this is this one. There. There. Is it pretty? No. I'm not, why am I so bunchy in parts? I guess because it goes in so fast, maybe? I don't know. Don't ask such questions.
Alright, now you know all the stitches that you need to know to be able to make this wooble. When you're done with round 17, your piece should look something like this. It should be slowly getting narrower and narrower, but there should still be a hole in the middle of it.
Okay, so we may go to the end of this one and then be done with it. So for number 15 is 24 singles, which probably helps if you hold it in your hand correctly. Nope, that's not right, but that's fine. Did you? Yeah, that needs to be on the other side of that one. Here's this one. So we've got 24. Ouch. Because I think we'll be done with this when the body, and we'll be done. But I'm not going 14 more hours for this. It's not 14, but we're not going 4 hours of this. That's insanity. I keep wanting to pull it up to my face. Like, I don't know. I imagine you sometimes might not be able to see it, in which case, my bad. But the one that needs to look at it to be able to see. Oh, I thought it was bad to hold it before. Oh, gosh. I can safely say this is not going to be my new hobby. Oh, Frel. I mean, technically it is going in, although it still looks kind of like a hot mess. But neither here nor there. Don't question the madness. Just keep on going. Well, the less loops I have to do, the faster it will be. The faster you can burn through it. What the hell is wrong with this one? Where's this hole come from? You know what? Don't know. Although that might be. You can say it'll eventually close in on itself. I seriously doubt it, but that's neither here nor there. How about this way? Yeah. I don't know why I bothered to try. To get it to go through. There's that one. That one. Yeah, fair warning to anyone who's never tried this. It's the smaller it is going the other way. It wasn't too bad when you were getting bigger, but when you're getting smaller, it's a hot mess. I'm having a little bit of trouble. Just a little bit. It's driving me bonkers. Bonkers, I tell you. Bonkers. Okay. And then this one is there. That's right. Just pull it through with your fingers so you don't have to go do this again. Okay. Sorry. 'Tis the season for the sniffles. I feel like that's too loose. Don't care. I mean, one would hope it would magically tighten itself by the time you get over there. Okay, so that is 15. We have 2 left. So 16 is single and then descending. Get out of the way, Clippy. Okay, there's our single. Let's see if we can't do this right on the first try. Yep, that's it. Nailed it. Okay, there's a single. And then we're going to do descending, which is 1, 1, 2. Is it? Yeah, hot mess. No question the insanity of others. There's that one. So there's 2. There's my descending. And then, I don't know why I keep bothering to wrap it around my fingers if it never stays there. And then we got to do our single, which is in this one. It's the hardest part is just finding where to start up after you do a descending. It looks a little bit weird is my answer. It's a little bit odd. 1, 2. So I wouldn't be surprising if that's where things go wrong, is putting it through the right loop there where you just end up messing it up. So that's a single. So now we're going to go back to this one. I don't know what we did here, but that's fine. You know what? Just do 2 of those. There we go. Start descending. And then a loop-de-loop. A normal one. And then I assume that's that one. I assume that's right. So then this is this one. It's a single. I'm stuck somewhere. Go. Do both sides like you're supposed to. And that's that one. So there's our single. And then this one and this one. Oh God, it's ridiculous. that one. And this is this. We will see how close we get to actually being right at the end. I don't know. It's a little bit hit or miss. I don't have faith in my ability to do this right. But hopefully it won't make it look terrible. It's a hard one. Descending is obviously 1,000 times harder than the ascending one. Okay, and then the last one is these two. So I think I did get it right. Like I think it came out even per se, but I don't know. That's my story on Signals to it. And then number 17 is 16 singles. So good news, kids. Good news. It's just normal singles. No descending whatnot for this one. Put this on there. One last wrap around the thing with the pieces I can't put in my hand. Yeah, this one's much looser. So I don't know if I messed it up while I did it, putting it together, or if that's just how it's supposed to be. I don't know. I will just keep going. Like you can tell, it's not nearly as tight up here. So I don't know if that's a descending or that's a me thing. I can't tell you. Like I don't know. I don't know. But here we go. Trying to figure this out. I still don't think it turned out horribly wrong. I am clearly not counting it to see if I'm wrong or not. I mean, I guess when we get done with this one, I was supposed to have 16 total. We can count it and see how far off I am. I mean, sometimes though, let's not say that. You know, easier said than done. Here's this one. And then this one. Oh, I feel like this is not tight enough. Get off. I gotta undo this one. Yeah, so this one. It is slightly amusing. I would assume the smaller stitches are for the ones that are actually stitches versus the bigger ones are the ones that are the decreased stitches. Like I feel like that's where the problem lies. I did it again. Why are we having so much trouble with this one? That's why they're different. But that's obviously just me guessing without any skill or knowledge. So, yeah. And that is the body, as I just keep pulling it closer to me as I get close again. Will you just get in the damn slot? There we go. It's a little bit wonky. Look at that. It's a little bit puffy in spots, but it's not horrible. It's still in the general shape, but you can tell I struggled here to get it right. It got a little bit bumpy right there. I don't know why, but I wonder if I can. It's cloth. We can fix that. But he did get smaller, and there's your little hole.
When you're done with round 17, you can also put your piece hook down. So remember to pull your hook really far away from the piece to make the loop for your hook real big, and you can put your piece down.
Okay, go to the next thing and let's see what it tells me to do.
Alright, now it's time to attach the eyes. So, big disclaimer, if you're going to give this to a small child or a pet, do not use plastic eyes.
Well, why does it tell me to attach eyes? I haven't made the head yet.
For small children or animals.
This isn't the head.
Embroider the eyes. So if you want to do that, there's some black yarn that's in your Insta, and then follow along the videos to learn. If you want to learn how to use safety eyes, open up that brown envelope that came in the kit.
Why do I have 3 of these and 2 of these?
Black pieces that look like screws, and then these 2 gray discs.
I mean, I guess technically, because he's one big piece, I guess he still goes in there.
So we're going to add our safety eyes in between our
Okay.
7 and 8 with 6 stitches in between them. Since you crocheted the piece working from the head to the butt, let's spin our piece around so that the head's on top and the butt's on the bottom. The pre-started piece at the top is this circle of stitches. This is also a round one, and this circle of stitches around that is round 2. So you can use these rings to help you count your way down the piece. So we're looking for round 7 and 8. Let's count. There's round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we know we want our eyes to go on this seam in between round 7 and 8. Since this is a symmetrical piece, you can put it anywhere on this piece as long as it's on the seam between round 7 and 8. So grab your first eye and put it in one of these holes. You want to make sure that you have the right side of your fabric, the side with all the vertical V's facing out, and that the round part of the eye is facing towards you.
I got that. Thanks, buddy. That was really complicated. Putting the eyes on.
Stitches over from this spot. You can go in either direction. It doesn't matter since this is a symmetrical wool. My tip would be just pick whichever side of the wool looks best to you. I've been telling you that a stitch from the top looks like a horizontal V, and a stitch from the side looks like a vertical V. And that's how you can count the number of stitches along the side of your piece. If you look, you can see that there's a hole in between all of the upside down vertical V's, and you can use that hole to help.
Is his face too far, his eyes too far away? I think that's fine.
So let's count 6 stitches away. There's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I put it in 6.
So I'm going to put my second eye.
And then I gotta put these in there.
Again, you want to make sure the round part is facing out, and most importantly, that you like how it looks.
No, I just dropped the cap. Does it go inside or I assume it goes in?
Now that I've got both eyes where I want them to be, I need to secure them with the washers, these gray discs. So I want to use these washers so that the flat part is against the fabric. What I'm going to do is look at the inside of my piece, and I probably can't reach those eyes unless I move this fabric a bit to poke it out again. Alright, there we go. I can see the pointy parts of the eyes. I'm going to put the washer on the stem, with the flat part of the washer facing the fabric, facing the yarn. And then I'm going to push down on the edge of this washer while also pushing up on the eye to push the washer down so that it cinches the yarn.
If my sister watches this, you know I'm giving it to you when I'm done with this thing. I'm just saying. I feel like his eyes are too.
Nice and securely fastened onto
Are they?
the yarn.
Because I still haven't gotten to the other one yet. There's your eyes.
Now it is time to
Stuff
this
it.
body. So you want to grab that little pillow stuffing that came in with it. Open that up. You want to see all this stuff. I think that you should just stick the stuff in your plushie. But if you do that, your plushie might come out looking a little bit lumpy. So there is a bit of a technique here. What you want to do is pull layers of your stuffing out and make these kind of flat discs that are about the same diameter of whatever you're about to stuff. So I'm making a kind of small tuft of stuffing because that's going at the top of the head, and I'm pushing down on all angles, all edges of it. And I'm going to take another layer of stuffing, and that one's going to be slightly bigger because I can see the head's getting a little bigger. I'm going to push that in as well. And I'm going to keep repeating this until my plushie is nice and full. So I'm going to say that this is a pretty good amount of stuffing for my body. It's keeping a nice cute egg shape, and it's not stretching my yarn out too much. I didn't use all the stuffing that came in my kit, but how much you use kind of depends on how tightly you crochet. Save a little bit so you can use it to stuff the snout later.
Still room. What are we doing? We're stuffing it. We're stuffing there. There. Do we think that's enough? I feel like his eyes are too far down. Whatever. I counted it out. It is correct. I don't know if I should put a little bit more in there. And that's it. He's stuffed now.
Here we are, the last round of the body. And if you're like me, by the time you reach the end, you probably have a huge gaping hole in the middle of your piece. Don't worry, this is totally normal. And then
okay, so I'm gonna put this back in. I go to the next thing and they're like, this is the last row of the body. I'm like, well, you might as well finish the last row of the body because it is 18 descending. Well, no, it's 8. So we'll see how close we are to correct on this nonsense. So this is 1, 2, and then did we wrap it around their finger like I was supposed to? No. Oh, this is not right because it's not tight enough. Okay, that needs to be like this. And then this one goes here. Okay. And then, oh geez, this is a hot mess. What is it? This one or this one? Whatever. 2. And then this is this. And then this is this one. There's that. And then I don't know if that's right or not. Like I may have gone further than I was supposed to. We will cross that bridge when we get to it. There's this one. And then we'll see what the instruction is after this. But that's still not a big hole.
next video will show you how to close up that hole.
It's not a horrible descending one.
So the pattern says you're done making a ball, but you still have a hole in the middle of your ball. Don't worry, that's totally normal. To close it, you're going to need a tapestry needle, which is inside the envelope that came with your kit, called the Woobles Bits, and you'll also need some scissors. So first things first, we're going to cut the yarn connected to the yarn ball about 6 inches away from the stitch that you just made. So I'm going to cut it somewhere around here.
Oh, I find my scissors.
And then I'm going to take my hook and then pull the hook
6
away
inches.
from me so that the yarn that's on the hook goes completely
That's
through the loop. So I've just got goes completely through away. And then I'm going to take my hook and then pull the hook away from me so that the yarn that's on the hook goes completely through the loop.
I assume this is going to go in here at some point.
I've got one strand of yarn coming out now. Then I'm going to put the hook aside. I don't need it anymore for this part. I'm going to thread this yarn tail.
I actually threaded it.
Tapestry needle.
Nailed it. Oh, next step.
Now you're going to put this tapestry needle under the front loops of every stitch of this last round, starting with the one marked by the stitch marker. So take a look at the V that the stitch marker is under, and remember the front loop is the side of the V that is closer to you. So it is this part of the V. And you're always going to pull your tapestry needle from the outside of the circle to the inside, so it should feel like you're moving your needle from the bottom up. And every time you pull it through a loop, pull it tight. All right, I just finished that, and the hole has disappeared. Now, to make sure that everything I did stays intact, I'm going to stick the needle into the middle of this hole and out somewhere on the other side of the body, anywhere really. The goal is to get this yarn caught up in the stuffing on the inside of the piece so that it doesn't move and accidentally unravel. So once you pull that yarn through your piece, you can take the tapestry needle off and pick up your scissors again. You're going to cut the yarn as close to the surface of your piece as possible, taking care not to actually cut the surface of your piece. And then, if you have any remaining pieces of yarn visible there, I'm just going to massage your piece until it disappears on the inside. And now you have a finished wooble body.
Wooble body. Okay. Let's see how many steps you got left in this nonsense. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that'll be part 2 of this, where we finish off the wooble, because we are already nearly 3 hours in, and I can't imagine that the nose, ears, and scarf will be short projects. Thanks for liking the stream. Thanks for watching the stream. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how I did and didn't do well. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. It is close-ish. I imagine it'll look better once you put the nose and the scarf on it. It'll look more like an actual thing besides just being a ball. But at least, I made a ball-ish type thing. It's not horrible. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please like, comment, subscribe. I feel like I've said that 16 times. And I'll see you next time when I finish Lola, the wooble. Wrong mouse. Honestly, there's stuff everywhere.